It ain't that woke. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and today, guys, I'm talking about Prey, the 2022 film, which is a Hulu exclusive and is the prequel to the entire Predator series, amazingly enough. And it is the fifth entry in the actual solo run of the Predator films, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. Obviously, we're not including AVP and AVP Requiem, which exist outside of canon, or are in canon, depending on what film you're watching and who you're asking. But I digress. So, as far as the Predator film here that we're dealing with, Prey, that is, I hadn't really heard about it until it was really maybe 5 months out before it was actually being released. And, of course, it did end up saying that it was a Hulu original, but I found it very interesting. We're actually taking the Predator, taking him out of the jungle, and we're putting him into 1700s Great Plains kind of America, and freaking we're taking it way back. We're putting him out of the element, and apparently this is the first time that a Predator actually visits Earth. Last film, if I have to take a step back, really was lackluster. They didn't really deliver on stuff. You had Shane Black, you had a whole bunch of diverse cast members, from comedians to actioners to different people, and it just kind of fell apart towards the end of the film. And even some of the plot points in the film really didn't make any sense. They rehashed the Super Predator thing from Predators, made them super shredders, is what I would describe them. They ended up making it so that Predators actually take DNA and infuse DNA and do some genetics type of stuff, which caused them to want to actually take the main character's son and take his DNA, because apparently autism is a great ability, and whatnot, which I thought was definitely an odd choice. When you hear about the production troubles that they had and how they had to basically reshoot the entire ending to make it more of a Predator hunt feel, and then apparently the extra tacked on scene at the end where they had Iron Man Predator, and then having that at the end and not actually using it inside of the film was kind of a what the hell moment too, because that probably would have been something that could have been badass. Maybe. So, another big thing about the film is that there was a little bit of controversy, because apparently, before this film was made, there was a fan film where a Native American woman actually fought a couple predators who also just so happened to be females. Just something that I noticed and pointed out. But the thing was is that obviously they didn't do too much, and they had her fight, but then they had her give up against the predators, I think, if I remember correctly. So it was definitely a little weird. People talked about copyright and story and this and that, whatever. But yeah, here we are. We're in this Prey film, which, again, I found very, very interesting. And, something like this, where you're getting a female lead against a big bad like the Predator, it's very easy to see that it belongs inside of the woke cinema place that we've found ourselves in. I'm not anti-progressive. I'm not anti-diversity. I'm just anti-bullshit woke stuff. Like, if stuff is woke and stuff just for the hell of it, it tunes me right out. It's like, okay. Going into this film, I was very worried that it was going to be another woke piece of shit. Just being 100% honest. And what I got was a lesson in restraint. That's right, guys. I got a lesson in restraint from a film that could very well have easily gone over the deep end like many of these films do with their various little things. And that's saying a lot. Because honestly, I enjoyed the shit out of this film. The main character, Naru, she wasn't a Mary Sue. She wasn't perfect. She wasn't someone who was trying to belittle. And she wasn't necessarily belittled by the tribesmen that she was trying to stand shoulder to shoulder with. Obviously, she hadn't proven herself yet, so they kind of questioned her abilities. But she fought hard and persevered through all that stuff. She went against the grain. She didn't just want to be a gatherer. She was actually a well-known tracker. Her brother knew that she had the skills that it took to do different things. Obviously, he wanted to sideline her for a lot of different things, especially when she got hurt during one scene where she actually stabs a lion and whatnot and goes out with the hunting party. Further than that, we find her at different points when she goes toe-to-toe with the Predator, actually having to run away and regroup several times. And the thing is that she's not perfect. She had to learn, she had to observe, she had to use her skills. And the Predator inside of the film was really cool because it took a de-evolution, a step back, if you will. The tech on the Predator, though it is still high-tech, it is much lower than what we are expected to see. And I thought that was pretty awesome. It was interesting to see the Predator actually interact and hunt on Earth for the first time because he works his way up. He starts with small animals, and then he works his way up through a snake, a bear, humans, and then there's this part where there's actually these fur traders and trappers that are coming through, and they're trying to get this Predator. And of course, you know how this ends. He flips the tables on them. Different type of climate, different type of atmosphere, different type of people. But my God, this is some awesome stuff. And the way that the Predator dispatches all these, hindrances, I'll call them, is just something else because it's really cool. And as far as, again, when we actually get the final fight between him and Naru, it's earned, and she does some pretty funky stuff in there. Not all of it 100% believable, but I could roll with it. I enjoyed it 100%. They do a couple callbacks. They have a callback where if it bleeds, we can kill it. The cut across the chest, the different things that end up happening. In my head canon, I think, hey, maybe this is Billy's ancestors. Billy from the first Predator film where he cuts his chest and he stands toe-to-toe. We don't exactly see what happens. They pass down this kind of legend through the ages, and then he even has something like that into his mercenary kind of profession and all that other stuff. And did I mention they actually bring the pistol from the second Predator that was given to Danny Glover? They actually bring it and have it in here. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. And yeah, there's some woke messages, but they are not oversaturated and so blunt. There's a little bit more nuance. And, again, the way that things unfold in this movie, for me personally, they seemed more organic than the normal type of typical woke period film. And I enjoyed my experience all the more for it. It just kind of stinks that it went straight to streaming instead of being in theaters, because this definitely had the gravitas, at least in my opinion, for a full-fledged theater release. Predator 1, it's at the top tier. It's always at the top tier. Predators and Prey, I would actually say, is second tier. Predator 2 has kind of slipped, in my opinion, over the years upon rewatch, and just kind of the vibe and feel that I get, even though it did, again, kind of have a different setting and give more to the Predator lore. I would say that it is maybe a step below or half a step below Predators and Prey, and then like 10 steps down, you're going to get the Predator. Overall, Prey was a great time. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out, especially if you have a Hulu subscription, or if you were thinking about having a free trial period. Definitely go ahead and check out Prey, because it was a fantastic film. And yeah, I would say that it's 3.5 out of 5 stars, at least for my rating. I know it kind of jumps around a lot with my ratings. They're never consistent, but nonetheless, it's still a good film, and I highly recommend seeing it if you haven't already. Anyway, guys, that's all the time that I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you watched till the end, I do appreciate it. It does help the channel. And you know what else would help the channel? If you dug the video, you could like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are subbed, hit that bell button. That way you never miss a moment of my content. Guys, again, thank you so much. And until next time, as always, I'm Jay. So take care, and bye.